Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Appreciate you for tuning in, as always. So today we got a pretty special video for you. We get a lot of requests of what it's like to see behind the scenes and kind of watch a little bit more in depth of the training. So today we decided to give you a good full-out look at what it's like for us to raise and deliver one of these dogs. So you're going to see him go from about this age till you'll fast forward over a year, and you'll actually see me visit the home first, evaluate the home, and then you'll see me deliver them in the end. So enjoy it, guys.
Here. Pass out. Fuck him, Red.
So before we ever deliver a dog, the first thing that we do is evaluate the property. So about 16 months prior to before the dog arrives, we'll arrive on the property, we'll meet the clients, evaluate the land, check everything out from head to toe. And then from there we can actually draw up a contract to what's going to fit the client's needs best. We see the property, evaluate everything on the property, and we get ready to build a dog specifically for what we're seeing. So what you're actually watching here is me walking around, getting a tighter look at the property, and I was really looking at the perimeter and trying to evaluate any place that I thought might be more vulnerable, and just taking mental notes of the property for when I return with the dogs, for things that I really need to train them a little more heavily, areas that I need them to focus on a little bit more, things like that. Right here, I'm actually walking over to a part of the property that I would love to explain how it works and what I'm doing with it, but due to the privacy of the nature of the things that we do with these dogs and what they're here doing, I'm not actually going to explain any details about how the system works. So sorry about that, but those are things that we keep very private. You know, our clients' privacy is very, very important to us, and the fact that they open this up to allow us to let this footage out and have you guys take a look at how some of our dogs live, and we appreciate it very, very much, and we never want to push it, so certain things I can't explain. But I want to let you guys take a look at me kind of walking around a property and what it really looks like, where some of my dogs end up. And what their lives look like after DDK9, and we are going to be returning back to this property very soon. It's something that's being written to a lot of the TV stuff that we're doing, so I can't really tell you if it's going to come out on this YouTube channel or not. That's something that's still kind of up in the air with how it's going and what we're going to do. There's not a lot of detail has been filled in there yet. I don't even have all the information on it yet. So I'm just patient just like everybody else. It's not actually 100% in concrete yet. There's a couple little details, things that need to be worked out to how it gets fit into the TV schedule. So all I know is I will be back at this property to finish training this dog very soon. Whether you guys get to see it or not is still up in the air. I hope you do. And I hope you enjoy this film.
I'm leaving, dude. You want to get left behind?
So right here, Red is probably about 8 weeks old, and we're just getting him out for some environmental stuff. We're just bringing him out, letting him see public, letting him see as many surfaces as we can. But right here, we're actually headed over to Martha's Vineyard, so we're about to get on a big boat. And I was actually filming for a piece at the time, so that's what
Doesn't really know where to walk yet. He's working on it. Doing his best. What do we think, dude? Long car ride, leash.
So right here what you're seeing is me just first time just letting him see water, and that's basically all this is. Alright, so right here is when the real training actually starts to begin. You'll see this is a couple weeks prior to where we were. He's got his ear cropped now. I know some people agree, some people don't, but when we build dogs for protection, intimidation is pretty important. So that's actually why we do that, for a short answer. But right here, what you're actually looking at, you're watching me just keep the dog engaged. I got a basic linen tug on the end of a flirt pole right now. And all I really want is to see that the dog is engaged. That he wants to play with the tug, he wants to hold it, he wants to possess it. That's really all I'm looking for at this moment. So what you're going to start to see here is you're going to start to see me make mild contact with the dog. I'm going to start to put my feet on him. And really all I'm doing is I want to see that he's not going to let go when I touch him. He's not going to get spooked by mild contact and let go. So I'm really prepping him for the future. So at this point, we've fast forwarded you guys a little bit. There's a lot going on in the middle. As you can see, my kid runs in. My son's been involved in the dog training for years and years and years, and this is a little part of this. Kind of wanted to show that, but basically, you can see him here on the beginner sleeve. Just same thing, keeping him engaged. Movement is what keeps the puppies engaged early, and then later on, as we go on, you'll start to see less movement out of me and very passive stuff.
Come on. All right, you gotta slip it off. Ready? Slip. Good boy. There he goes. Good job.
So right now what I'm doing is I'm teaching the dog about different positions. So I'm really teaching him how to target the bicep on bite suit, because that's going to be about the position when he gets on a suit. And you see I let the dog win the sleeve when he's a puppy. So letting the dog win when they're a puppy is pretty important, because it just lets their ego feel big. So right now you're seeing the first time I ever put anything on my leg, and I let him bite the leg. And all I really wanted to see is he didn't care where it was on the body. He'd made contact with it. And you'll see same way. I slip it off my foot and I just let him take it away. This is an early part of training. This all changes later, at least with our style of training. We don't allow them to hold and carry the equipment. So actually what happens right here was good, that he dropped it and wasn't that interested in it, and now he gets right back into it. Us here at DDK9, that's what we look for when we're training. See, my kid was getting a little bit too close there. But that's what I'm looking for, I don't look for dogs that are going to light up when they see equipment, or dogs that just want to carry around the equipment like it's the greatest thing in the world. When they're a puppy, it's good for them to have that mentality, but we nix it early because we do not want equipment-happy dogs. These are real dogs, and that's what we train them for. You'll see Red, as he gets older, gets extremely intense. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving him a little bit more agitation now, and then I'm going to let him get a bite. So you'll see the dog bites dead center of the sleeve. That's exactly what we want at this point. You see I slipped the sleeve off because I'm still letting him win. That's going to change as we go along. So now you see I give him a little bit more of an apprehension, where I'm backing up a little bit more, and I'm letting him kind of chase the bite a little bit. And you see again, dead center on the sleeve. That's what I want. If anything, he's more towards my body. See how he's more towards my elbow? See, something that would be negative at this point in the training is if he was running down the sleeve and he always wanted to be at the bottom left corner, which would be trying to stay away from my body. So what I'm doing now is I'm just keeping him very calm on the bite, covering up his head. Same thing, you see, there he goes, slips, runs off with it. He's real happy again. This will change later. What we're seeing right here is me just making sure that he wants to bite anything, not just the sleeve. So now we fast forward a few months, and I want you to notice right off the bat, there's no agitation in this bite. I stand still, she gives the dog a command, he bites. Same thing, dead center on the sleeve. So as you can see, the training is working, and that's the idea, that's the purpose. You can see the intensity the dog picks up, his grip is a little stronger. So this is what we want at this point. Again, slip, he takes it away still. You'll see that change soon. So right here you see again, good bite, no agitation, dead center, good full bite on there. You see I give him a little more action now, he's getting a little older, but I'm still slipping off the sleeve at this point and letting him win it. But you're actually about to see that change right here in this next segment. So when you were watching earlier, what you're seeing is I was allowing the dog to get a bite, and then I was letting him take the sleeve away. I would slip it off and he would run away with it. We do that so the dog builds confidence and they're always winning. So at this point in the dog's training, what I'm teaching him now is to not hold the equipment, because we don't want a dog that just bites equipment. We want dogs that are real. So I'm getting him prepared for what's called double sleeving. But right now, I want him to bite over top of the other sleeve, paying no mind to it at all. Same intensity as before, nice full bite. Keeping him calm at this point. When I like to teach the dogs new stuff, I like them nice and calm. So that's really what I want. I'm just kind of calming them down. Nice full bite. Good grip. You know, that's what we teach the dog young. That's what you were watching earlier, is we would teach him in the counter, teach him about his grip. But still same thing, I'll let him take the sleeve away, and then in the next segment you'll see me start to step it up. And this is actually the same day. This is probably a couple moments later, and this is the first time I ever let him bite the jacket. See, the jacket goes over top of his head. I just wanted to see that he was calm when he can't see anything. Stayed on the bite, and then here you're gonna see it come back. I don't want him to hold the equipment at all, so I give him the agitation, and he comes right off. And that's exactly what I want to see right there. So this is really the first day that we ever had him biting the jacket. So you see his bite is a little bit rough on it, so I'm still just kind of making sure he counters well and making sure his bite is proper on it. So you'll see I duck into him, let him counter good right there. So these are just some of the things that we do with the dog to make sure that his, bite mechanics are still proper on the suit, as we go along. What you're seeing right here is me starting to teach him the basics of transferring, which kind of comes along with double sleeving, which can teach your dog about multiple attackers, not to hold equipment, and it can also teach the dog about being attacked by a weapon and learning how to transfer. And that's what you're seeing right here. It's the first stages of a dog learning how to transfer, and his first day on the jacket. And I was very proud of him today, man. The dog he did so well. So as you fast forward a little bit, and the dog gets a little more confident on the bite. This is one of the things that we do to show that the dog can handle pressure. They can handle different obstacles that get put in front of them. And one of the common misconceptions about when you start teaching dogs how to transfer is that they get jumpy, and they don't want to stay on a bite. As you can see, there's no problem there. The dog stays nice and solid on the bite. Not an issue at all. When you teach dogs things really early, like we do, you understand that when you get to these obstacles, the percentage that the dogs are going to pass them is a lot higher. When you teach them proper bite mechanics early, you teach them everything early, and you build a confident dog. Things like this aren't as much of a challenge, So this was day one right here, and as you can see, no problem there, man. This is a great dog. So you'll see at this point, the dog's confidence is just through the roof. The power of the dog now is incredible. You'll see the bite suit's changed. I actually can't stand to be in the other suit anymore, So teaching him the proper mechanics of biting early was very important. All the targeting was important. You'll see in this segment here, I'm still doing what's called flagging the dog, where you'll see in a second I start to wave my arm, and really all I'm doing is I'm showing the dog where I want him to go on the suit. And that's really what we did, a lot of what's called targeting, because we don't want the dogs to hesitate when they come into the bite. So you'll see that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm flagging him to come right into the pocket, and that will actually dissipate later as well. But right now it's really important that the dog understands where he's going so he doesn't hesitate. So as you can see, there's not much of a problem there, zero hesitation. Dog comes in just full force, and that's exactly what we want. That's what we train for early. And you see at this stage in the dog's training, he does have an out, so he'll out, and then you can check this out from another angle. So as you watch the second angle here, you'll see I'm still flagging the dog a little bit, which will dissipate as we go along more, but the precision of this dog is absolutely incredible. And that's why we teach targeting, which we didn't get too much into in this, but that's why we teach it, so they don't hesitate. Hesitation will get you killed. So these are really just some super cool slow motion clips that we had, where you can really see the dog bite down on the sleeve. It's super cool to look at in slow motion, so we figured we'd throw that in there for you. But what you're about to see next is the first time that I really introduced the dog to an outside decoy other than myself. And that's a common question that I get a lot, how can I be in the bite suit and then be the handler of the dog? And to really understand that, you're going to have to look at some of our other videos covering drives of dogs to really get that a little bit more in depth. So the short answer to that is I only work my dogs in prey. We bring in other decoys to work the dogs defensively or civil work, which we never covered in this film. All the civil work and the defensive work went on with the dog at different stages, but we didn't actually cover that in this film. We wanted to be able to kind of talk about the basic stages of the training. I want to make an important note that I didn't make this film as an instructional. I do not recommend that anybody goes out and tries this stuff at home. This is very serious work, and this can be very dangerous when done wrong. So please do not try this at home. This is day one of putting him up onto the car. This is just an extension of putting obstacles in front of him and seeing how far he'll push it. But as you can see at this point, the dog's obedience is really on point. With the outs, we worked on that. Those are things that we really get down pat at this point. And positioning is something that we work on next. But really, at this point in his training, all we really want to see is that anything we put in front of him, he's willing to just conquer it. And as you can see, there's no problem. The intensity of the dog is great. just zero hesitation. And that's exactly what we're looking for at this stage of the training. And you can see she puts a lot of pressure on the line, and I'm working them towards the end. You see I keep my hands behind my back because this dog does understand how to transfer. So even when you're working in prey, if you put your hands in the wrong place, he's trained to transfer and understand that. So that can be a very, very painful trip to the hospital. So we try to avoid that. So like I said, a lot of parts of the training in this film are missing. Actually, most of the parts are missing because we didn't want this to be an instructional video. That was not the idea. We just wanted you to be able to see the dog grow and progress over a year's time and let me kind of narrate what was happening. So here again, really what you're seeing is just an extension of building the dog's confidence. When you're building a protection dog, building their ego is one of the most important things, so he feels that he's invincible. Everything that we put in front of him, he conquers, Because the true fearlessness inside of the dog, that is what makes a good protection dog. So that is what we are constantly building. We are stroking the dog's ego. The dog always wins. So building the dog's ego, that's really what you're seeing. This is just an extension of pushing the limits, showing him what he's capable of. So I'm opening up his doorways and showing him the things that he's capable of and building his ego bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what we're doing. So as we come to the conclusion of the training section of this film, I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope that me kind of narrating and walking you through a little bit can kind of help you see maybe some things that you never saw before. But again, this was not made to be an instructional video, so please, 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 if you're going to train dogs, join a club, get a professional trainer involved. Do not try this stuff at home. You could get hurt, your dog could get hurt, or somebody else could get hurt. So please, please do not try this at home. But right here is a little bonus clip for you with Ace and Red working together. I'm just kind of showing you that, when the dogs are finished, they can work together. It doesn't matter. It's about the task at hand. It's not about each other. But if you followed my page, you follow all my fan pages, all my social media, you'll see the different clips with Ace and Red together and them running around. People ask a lot of time about protection dogs in the pack. We do integrate them into the pack, but a lot later on in their life when the ego simmers down a little bit, and it's a little bit easier to kind of integrate them into normal activities with normal dogs. Because you got to understand, a protection dog and a normal dog are completely different. When you have a protection dog, when you put a dog in front of you to protect you, that's a dominant position, and in a dog pack, that's something that doesn't ever happen. You don't give dogs dominant positions in a dog pack, so it's very, very different, and it's very important to understand the differences, especially if you're going to try to merge these worlds and bring them together. But a true protection dog, when they're finished, should be perfectly balanced. They should be able to be around other dogs, people, in public, everywhere. The misconception of these dogs is that they're rogue, that they're just these crazy wild dogs, and protection dogs just bite everything they see. That is absolutely false. These are the most balanced dogs on the planet, and that's something that we really didn't cover in this film, is the selection process of these dogs. But selecting these dogs is the most important part of this, really. Getting the most balanced dogs. Unstable dogs do not get trained. And anybody out there training unstable dogs, they're just doing a disservice to the world, and they're either going to get somebody hurt really bad and it's going to come back on them. It's going to turn out all wrong. But one of the main important things in training these dogs is selecting the right dogs. But a protection dog, when they actually get trained, they are the most balanced dogs on planet Earth. I would trust a protection dog way more than I trust the normal dogs. Well, not my normal dogs, because I imprint all of my dogs. Imprinting is something that we're going to talk about a lot. I hope you follow and subscribe to our channel, because imprinting is something we're going to talk about a lot. I feel that that's something that should be integrated into the regular, just everyday dogs. All dogs should be imprinted. It makes them more sound. And it's something that I'm going to teach you about, just the basics of imprinting dogs. But basically, protection dogs, if you train a dog, this is the best way that I can explain to somebody. If you think about a dog that is trained for World War, like these dogs are, they are trained for loud noises, gunshots, all different types of things, and then you put them in an everyday scenario, it's pretty much just like walking around in Disneyland. Nothing makes them nervous, because aggression, or the typical dog bites that you see in your everyday life, stems from fear. So when you eliminate fear out of these dogs' lives, that's gone. The possibilities for them to bite a kid or a person when a loud noise goes off, or, they get in a situation where they get fearful, that's all gone.
You know, because when you take these dogs and you train them, only the proper dogs are trained. Only the dogs that are the most balanced, most confident dogs are trained. So again, I appreciate you guys for joining us. I really hope you like this portion of the film. Enjoy the rest of it. You're going to see me deliver the dog to Spain. Sorry for the black portion of the video, but I'll probably be putting pictures up right here. But enjoy the rest of this film. I hope you enjoyed that, and let's go.
Out! Here! Good boy. Here. Here.
What do you think, Reb? Headed out. See you in Marbella. Got Red about to get in this crate, about to get out of here. About to take off. Another day in the life, man. It's always busy. International traveling, but it's crazy. It's a blessing, but I'll tell you, man, right now I'd rather just stay home. I'm tired.
What?
You just stuffing your face? You're not stuffing your face? What are you doing then?
Eating.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My dad's a veterinarian.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I love that stuff.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. I love you, bro. Aww. Good when you're kicking, always laughing, it hurts you. Love you, man. Saying bye. High five, hit me. See you in a couple days, bro. Well, you gotta go home with Mom and Derek, man. You're gonna mow the lawn. It's gonna be a good time. All right, well, I'll see you in a bit, buddy, okay? I'm headed to Marbella, meeting
Huge
fans
fan,
along the way.
badass. Sick as
Take care. See ya. So we made it. Made it out here to Madrid. There's Red. There's me. Gonna get him out of here. Just put him on the trolley.